Hey guys, when I had this farm, I had a farmer come to me and he said, now that you own a farm, I want to ask you a question. What is it? What's the difference between Marilyn Monroe and a rooster? I says, I don't know. He says, a rooster says, cock-a-doodle-doo. Marilyn Monroe says, any cock will do. Now that I told you that, I'm going to get to the farm. I had the farm. The farm was great. I mean, I told you once before, I got in trouble with, the Plaza Suite, all this bullshit. I had the farm, and I loved it. We bought racehorses, trotters and paces. I built a track. While I was building the track, the guy who was working for me says, I know somebody who built freehold racetrack. So maybe when we build this track, we could have him do the maintenance. So I said, oh, make an appointment. I want to meet him. So I met him. So he says, this is beautiful. I had a 30-acre farm. The bottom layer of the farm was 18 acres. He says, I could fit the freehold track, a replica of that right down here. Take some heavy equipment, take some doing, but I could do it. He says, I still have the blueprints over freehold racetrack. So you can build the same exact thing? Yeah. Let's do it. They came in and they built this track. It was phenomenal. People who had their horses boarded in other places, racehorses, came to me. They wanted a board by me. They wanted permission to use the track. They were willing to pay all these things. And it was gorgeous. I made a cart, and you know how they sit. Their legs are in a stirrup, and you sit on this little tiny seat, and you got the reins, and you're running. I want to try it. So the guy says, okay, you could only go counterclockwise or clockwise. Don't turn them around to go counterclockwise. Why? Because the horses already know when they're going in that direction, they're in a race. He's going to take off on you. You'll never be able to hold him. You never did this. So I'll sit on the side of the cart with you. You hold the reins, I'll tell you what to do, and he'll just jog around. He thinks it's a jogging day because we work them all the time. Okay. So I get on the horse, and I'm sitting on the horse, and we're going, and the horse's tail is almost right in my face. His ass is a couple feet away from me. Wow, I says, let me give him a little spin. No, Sammy, the horse costs $40,000. I bought the fucking horse. Don't tell me it's $40,000. I know. I push him off the cart. He falls off the cart, and I turn this fucking horse around. Boy, oh boy, he was right. This thing took off like a fucking steam engine. I couldn't even slow him down. I'm whoa, and I'm bouncing around off that seat, and I'm flying. But I did it. I didn't fall off. I loved it. It was great. It was fun. So my kids couldn't do that. They would get hurt. So I built them a cart. It had the same exact thing. Instead of the little seat, there was a cart with screen around it, and they couldn't fall off. There's a bench. They could just sit, and they could hold the reins. And I would have the trainer sit in with them and make sure that they didn't lose control of the horse. And we did that. My kids loved it. My son had a mini bike, and he used to ride around. They get mad because he would ride on the track because it's only for the horses, all that bullshit. I didn't care. My daughter, I bought her a horse. My son, I bought a horse. My niece had a horse. We had great times at this farm. I mean, we had 20, 30 people, street guys coming up, my whole crew, with their wives, kids. I mean, we used to have a blast at this farm. I love this farm. It was the best time of my life, getting away from the mafia, getting away from cops, getting away from everything. It was, what a pleasure. We went in, Michael DeBat would go into the town to butcher, right? And, you know, all the people who live in that area probably go to this butcher or a supermarket or someplace else. So he would go in and say, all right, I want 30 pounds of steaks. The guy would look at him, what? 30 pounds of steaks? Hamburgers, hot dogs and stuff. But this guy, when he saw Michael DeBat, he saw like fucking 500 coming in. You know, big bill. Back then, 500 was a lot. And that's what we would spend in the butcher shop. They loved us. I go to the restaurants over there. I mean, I gave a woman a $50 tip. We were all eating. I give her a $50 tip. She comes over. Some of them call me Mr. G. Mr. G, you didn't get your change. No, that's for you. So you can imagine, these people were probably getting a $5, $10 tip. I give her a $50 tip. They were going crazy on us. They loved us over there, up there. And we no gangster shit. It was just family, friends, fun. We had a big pool in the backyard, a diving pool. I mean, this place was drop dead gorgeous. I had 3 different barns. I mean, all kinds of things. It was gorgeous. And anybody who knows me knows that I go overboard when I do construction and fixing things. I go overboard. So it was gorgeous. The whole thing with the Plaza Suite happened, and I was about to lose my house in Staten Island where I live with my wife and my kids. So the decision was the house or the farm. I put the thing for sale. I never seen my wife cry like a baby. She cried like a baby when we were getting rid of this thing. I've talked with her not too long ago about it. She cried again. Old lady crying about the farm. That's how good the memories were for us. So I came to a number. I sold it for about $350, $375, whatever it was. I didn't know too much on it. I think I had a $60,000 mortgage. But the government was going to take all that money. I was going to sell it. And the real estate woman who was going to sell it came to me on the side and said she wanted to buy that cart for her kids. She owned horses as well. Small little place, but she loved that cart. So I said, all right, let me think about it. I said, some of the people who were talking, they wanted, let me see what I'm going to do. So now she's bringing people to look at the house. And they were saying, you know, does everything come with it? I mean, I had tractors. I had I had a water truck. I had all kinds of equipment with it too. And I would say, okay, the water truck, the tractor, that comes with it. This, don't. And I would get to that cart and I would say, this don't. I promised this to somebody. She was there. She's listening to this whole thing. A couple of times and she says, you already promised it to one of your friends? Yeah, one of my friends wanted. When we sold the farm, she was at the closing, of course. And I said, come down with your truck and pick this thing up. She says, I thought you were going to give it to your friend. I said, you are my friend. Take it. You don't want money? No, take it. Enjoy it, you and your kids. The feds came down on me like a ton of bricks right after the sale. They were all over me. They went to the town. They went to everybody. Did he ever threaten you? Did he ever do this? Did he ever do that? They loved me. I never threatened anybody. I gave big tips. I never bothered anybody. So they were dead. They went to her. In this transaction, was there any money put under the table with this transaction? She said, the fuck out of here, she told the feds. This guy gave me the thing. I was offering him money. He gave it to me as a gift. As soon as I'm done with you people, I'm going to go to him and his lawyers, and I'm going to tell them what you said. Or you maybe want me to say, you want me to lie? No, we don't want you to lie. Well, then get the fuck out of here. She didn't care. Feds, she didn't give a shit. So there's one farmer who said he owned horses. And I went to him and I offered him $25,000 for the horse, not to bring it to an auction. I wanted to buy it direct for $25,000. And when the feds came to me, I said, yeah, I offered him $25,000, that I would pay it cash, not green cash. I mean, I would pay it immediately, a bank check. But that's not what you said. No, I said I'll pay cash, no loans. I'll pay the whole number right now. That's what I said. Maybe he thinks I was going to give him cash. I didn't say nothing about. When I said cash, I meant now. No loans, no nothing. No, I'll give you $10,000. I'll give you so much a month. None of that. That's what I said to him, and that's what I meant. So whatever he thinks, I don't give a fuck. They didn't make an issue of it. So I lost the farm, the horses, the whole 9 yards with that Plaza Suite fucking situation, which I already did a video, so you guys know about it. Anyway, so that was my experience on the farm. But, you know, there was, which I never heard the term, it always smelled good. There were sycamore trees, and I never knew what that was. And I told the guy, why does it, you know, when you go near the barns, it smells like horse shit a little bit, but why does it smell so nice coming up the road, and it smells beautiful like? He says that's the sycamore trees. When they blossom or whatever they do, they really let off an odor that just blanketed the whole area. I mean, and I went through so many things. We hit a storm. It was a hurricane, I think. A storm or some shit. The water was just pouring down. And we had gullies on the side of the track. They were full. So I had to go down while it was raining and stick these rods into the drains so that they could suck out the water. All kinds of different experiences. We went to races when our horses were going to race. A really great experience. And, you know, working on a farm, I mean, these people here are really good people. They work. There's no such thing as a day off or an hour off. Something happens, boom, they're working. They're on their tractors. And I was doing that too. I wanted to feel it. I felt good doing it, actually. Shoveling the horse shit a little bit. They call them, you know, cleaning the stalls. I didn't do it all the time, once in a blue moon. But I had workers who did all that stuff. And it was really, really a great experience. And I wanted to share that experience with you. And I didn't kill anybody on the farm. So I don't know if you guys would be happy about that, but I am. It was family time. It was good time. I wish that on all of you. Everybody who hears this, I wish you could find your little niche like I did, away from everything and everybody and all the bullshit. I was on Mars. I was in Cream Ridge, New Jersey. But to me, it felt like I was on Mars. No problems, no headaches, no arguing, no fighting. It was a little love nest in the middle of New Jersey. I hope you find one.